Hello, everybody. I hope you are all enjoying a nice congress in this wonderful country of Morocco. My friend Laurent Lauré and myself have thought it could be a good idea to share our experience of the low adoption of conservation agriculture in France, as an example not to be followed by farmers in Africa. In Europe, conventional agriculture is using tillage on 95% of annual crops. On 1/3, they use deep plow with motor plow, inversion plow, and 2/3 is in surface tillage, which they name, unfortunately, conservation agriculture, which is not true, and it gives a lot of confusion. The history of conservation in agriculture in France started with Gramoxone around the 60s. After that, in the 80s, we started with Roundup, and I personally did a lot of trials with Roundup and no-till equipment, and we had very good results on all crops, including maize or some others which are supposed to be difficult. Unfortunately, very soon, minimum tillage took over no-till, probably because it's less difficult, it's more, let's say, not technically difficult, but it's more compliant to the mindset of people. You don't need to change your way of thinking. And it makes things comfortable. Also, manufacturers were pushing a lot to minimum tillage. It was a big mistake because, in fact, we still have erosion, you have a lot of weeds, etc. We don't have the benefits of true conservation agriculture, as all of you know. In 2007, APAD decided to promote only conservation agriculture as defined by CA COP of FAO, and thank you, Amir Kassam, to insist in every newsletter about the difference and about the strict definition of zero tillage plus cover crops plus rotations. We also decided in ECAF General Assembly in Dresden to go to that only, and the definition was also given in Madrid in the First World Congress in 2001. The conservation agriculture, the true one, as it is named in France Agriculteurs de conservation des sols. We added soils to be sure that people don't make the confusion with the other conservation agriculture, which is minimum tillage. Farmers like CA when they see high-yielding crops, labor productivity, and profit for their family. These are the key three drivers for farmers to adopt. And they need to see CA working well on farm. They need good results. They need know-how transmitted by their colleagues, which are more experienced than them. And they need answers to their technical questions. These are the things which are provided by farmers' associations, as APAD and some others, as APRESID, for example. But farmers need also access to land, of course, and to water in dry areas. And access to machinery, the good ones, specific, no-till, and seeds, and fertilizers, and pesticides. And they need freedom to innovate, to change their practices, and to adapt. And it means need low bureaucracy and low level of regulations, because with too many regulations, you cannot change. And these must be enabled by policies. Or not. Sometimes it's not. In Europe, the Common Agricultural Policy, the Green Deal, the Farm to Fork, as they name it, doesn't support conservation agriculture. It bans pesticides and fertilizers one after the other because they want us going only organic. On the left, you see how it is for farmers who get subsidies for this. Conventional, organic still get more subsidies. And on the right, we don't get extra support for conservation agriculture. And they even want to ban glyphosate. For the lobbying, you get good key messages by Rolf Dersch. First, we need to have good champion farmers, means farmers who have good results in each country, who must be strict on CA principles. Again, no tillage is zero tillage. It's not minimum tillage. and cover crops and rotations are mandatory and must be good. So farmers bring the results to policymakers with support of experts, and we must operate on a global consistent network. And that's what the effort we started and we made in COP21 in 2015, climate, making a manifesto for soil and climate between several associations of farmers and with ECAF and with the CACOP, and supported by Ratan Lal here. We were part of the 4% initiative and we are still members of it. We were in COP22, in Marrakesh, and in the following months. And you see here the faces of many friends who are today in your room. Here also, documents of communication is other friends. You can see them. And this was good communication. And now everybody tells us we do well in all institutions, etc. But they tell us to do it without glyphosate. And we tell them, just try it. Show us how to do. We cannot imagine how to plow this green biomass. All farmers know it's impossible. But others are dreaming and tell us to do it. The key issue in modern Occidental society is that citizens in cities pretend to teach us how to improve our operations. And worst of all, they decide policies for us, which are contradictory with what we can do. Good policies must enable freedom to operate and responsibility of farmers. The president of Ghana in 2017 has told to our President Macron that Africa is rich enough in natural and human resources to be actor of its own development, and people must act as entrepreneurs and stop being dependent on states and donors. That's a good message for European Commission and European Parliament. The farmers must stand up and take ownership of agriculture, food, water, energy, environment, because they are the only ones to farm and able to get success. Without farmers, the society and humanity will have no future. Thank you to be part of this global effort to make CA community the leading movement for sustainable food production. Thank you very much. Hello now. If you have questions or whatever, thank you. Bye.